Before I continue the story, pause for a moment and think about Vyasa said when he manifested himself, this ancient being who literally knows everything, he said, Yudhishthira, you have to learn this, Bhima, you have to learn this. And then he sends off Arjuna on this mission. What did Arjuna have to learn? It seemed like he just got a lot of magical weapons. What did he learn from this? Think about this. It becomes very important to kind of a deeper layer of meaning within this entire story. So, the exile of the Pandavas has ended now, and they rightfully demand their kingdom back. And what do you think Duryodhana does? Says, no, absolutely not, no way, go away. And so they try to make peace and nothing works. And Yudhishthira, who wants to avoid war at all costs, now his mind is very calm, he's totally tuned into the trajectory of karma that is going to move the Rock of Ages. And he really wants to avoid war. And he thinks, what should I do? And then he says, Krishna, my Lord, please, you go and see if you can make peace. And Krishna goes to the Kaurava court. It's a beautiful episode. I don't have time to go into it. But he tries to make peace. And Yudhishthira tells him, when Krishna is going, Yudhishthira tells him, make any compromise you need to. Even if they just offer 5 villages instead of the kingdom, just say yes. And as Krishna is about to leave, Draupadi goes to him. And with eyes filled with tears, she says, Lord, are you really going to make peace? And Krishna holds some of her uncombed hair. He just lifts it in his hands. And then his face darkens with anger, like a monsoon cloud, a monsoon cloud that's pregnant with rain. The face of God darkens with anger, it says. And then he says in a voice that is the voice of destiny itself. And he says, I will promise you this, that the evil Kauravas will not see another northward passage of the sun, meaning within this year, they are all going to cease to exist. And he says that this is my promise. The sky might fall, the Himalayas might split asunder, and the oceans might dry up. But my promise, my dear sister Draupadi, will not be falsified. So don't worry. I will make peace. Yudhishthira wants to make peace. But their own evil will ensure their destruction because their karma is now ready to bear fruit. Nothing can prevent that. So, needless to say, Krishna goes, tries to make peace, and Duryodhana, in a moment of pride and ego, he says, not only will I not give Yudhishthira 5 villages, I will not even give him enough land to fit on the head of a pin. And saying so, he sends Krishna away. And Krishna comes back and preparation for war begin. And every king on earth needs to declare his allegiance. His battalions need to be committed. It's one of those, if you're either with us or against us kind of situation. It is a cataclysmic, age-ending world war. And in all of these statecraft and shenanigans, Duryodhana manages to accumulate a much larger army. He has 10 battalions now. And on the side of the Pandavas are only 7 battalions. But none of this is meaningful because the big question still remains unanswered. Who does Krishna fight for? Now Krishna, despite his friendship with Pandavas and promise to Draupadi, he hasn't declared one way or another. So both Arjuna and Duryodhana set out from their respective camps and they set out to Krishna's palace. They go into the palace and the guards, Duryodhana comes there first. And so the guards really don't know who Duryodhana is. They say, who are you? And he says, how dare you not know me? I'm Duryodhana. He says, okay, calm down. go on in. He's sleeping. So Duryodhana goes in, and he goes to Krishna's bedchamber. And there again, the guard says, "Who are you?" The Lord is sleeping. He says, "I'm Duryodhana." Okay, don't scream. Krishna will get up, go there, wait. And Duryodhana goes in, and he looks around. It's a bedroom. All it has is a bed, right? And so he doesn't have anywhere to sit. And Krishna doesn't look like he's going to wake up soon. He's sound asleep. When God sleeps, he sleeps. And it's called Yoga Nidra, by the way. He just, that's true. Krishna's sleep is called Yoga Nidra. And he's sleeping. But then next to his head, there is a big golden chair for some reason. So Duryodhana goes and sits there. And after some time, Arjuna comes in. Everybody knows who Arjuna is. One thing I didn't tell you is throughout all of this, in the midst of all of this, Arjuna is now married to Krishna's sister. And he even has a son named Abhimanyu by her. There's so many things I've left out. Just keep that in mind. It becomes important tomorrow. So Arjuna is well known. They let him in. And Arjuna also has nowhere to sit. Duryodhana is just sitting there, kind of the stony expression. There's a little stool next to Krishna's feet. Arjuna sits there. And then after a while, Krishna wakes up. And then he wakes up and then he sees Arjuna first. "Oh, my dear Arjuna, how nice to see you. When did you come? Why didn't you wake me up?" And then he hears from his head. And he looks, "Oh, Duryodhana, you are here. I didn't even see you. He was right there at my feet, so I saw him first." Duryodhana says, "I was here first." He wants to establish primacy. I said, okay, fine. Now, this is such a fortune for me. Why am I blessed with both of you at the same time? What can I do? And they have a conversation, and then eventually Duryodhana says, okay, let's come to the point. I've traveled a long way. I don't have time. I got a world war to prepare, people to kill. Krishna, your allegiance is unclear. You see, the thing is, whomever Krishna fights for, not just him individually, of course he himself can totally determine the cause of war, but he has a battalion of soldiers. It's called Narayani Battalion. And this is probably the most accomplished battalion of soldiers anywhere on earth at the time. So either him or his army can literally determine the outcome of war. So a lot is hanging in balance here. And so Duryodhana says, "We want to know whom you fight for." And Krishna says, "Okay, well, both of you are equal to me." And Duryodhana does a double take. Well, really? I thought you preferred Pandavas. I said, no, I might like them, but the cause of dharma, both of you are equal to me. So I will give you a choice. One of you can have my famed Narayani battalion, and one of you can have me. And then he immediately follows up and says, "But I won't fight. You can just have me. I'll be there." And he looks at Arjuna and says, "Since I saw you first, Arjuna, you choose." And Duryodhana says, "But I was here first." He says, "Yeah, I saw him first. And also Arjuna is younger. When you have gifts to give, you always give the younger one the bigger gift. That's just plain good family values." So Duryodhana says, "Okay." And he's saying, "Oh, please, don't choose the battalion." And Arjuna says, "Krishna, I choose you. Doesn't matter whether you fight or not." And then Duryodhana is elated. He gets his battalion. His total count is now 11 battalions against Pandavas 7. Krishna doesn't even fight, so he doesn't care. And Krishna is curious. He asks Arjuna, "Why did you choose me?" And he says, "Lord," he repeats what Karna had said a few days ago. He says, "Yato Krishnas tato dharmaha, yato dharmas tato jayaha." Where there is Krishna, there is dharma. Where there is dharma, there is victory. Lord, your presence is enough. We have as good as won the battle. And so the battle day approaches. The blind king, Yudhishthira, he's mortified for any number of reasons, but his immediate problem right now is he cannot watch the battle. He doesn't know what goes on because he's blind. So Vyasa knows this, and Vyasa once again does one of those lightning and manifestation things, and he comes in front of Dhritarashtra, the blind king, did I say Yudhishthira before? Dhritarashtra. He comes in front of Dhritarashtra and says, Dhritarashtra always has a companion. His name is Sanjaya. He's the charioteer, he's the minister, he never leaves Dhritarashtra's side. And he touches Sanjaya on the forehead, Vyasa, is immortal, and says, Sanjaya, I have granted you the ability to look into every corner of the battlefield. From sitting right here, you can look into it, and your job is to describe the battle to Dhritarashtra as it unfolds, because he is the king of the realm and he needs to know. And so it was that on the eve of battle, the battle formations have formed, and then Dhritarashtra asks, Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsavaha Mamaka Pandavas Chaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. And so Dhritarashtra is asking, in the great Dharmakshetra, meaning the field of justice or dharma, Kurukshetra, that's the name of the actual battlefield. Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre, in the field of Kurukshetra, my sons and my nephews, Pandavas, have gathered full of war, lust and enthusiasm. When they faced off against each other, O Sanjaya, what was the outcome?